Hello and welcome to Gardening at 58 North. In this video I'm going to try a different type of bonsai technique which I haven't done before. I don't think it's particularly common and the results kind of vary, I think, but what it is basically is you put a lot of plants together, and what happens over time is they fuse together. As they grow and the stems thicken up, the stems press up hard against each other and they fuse into one solid trunk. So it's a very quick way of getting a thick, mature looking bonsai, but it's really a bit of a cheat, you could say. It depends what way you look at it. Some people might think of it as cheating, other people might think of it as an interesting technique, and it's just lots of little cuttings growing into one tree. So it has to be the same species because the plants have to grow into each other. So what I'm going to be doing is using all these leaf cuttings, and they're all going to be genetically identical because they're all from the same mother plant. I've got plenty of them, and I know that the roots, the trunks, thicken up very easily, so that's why I'll be using these. So what I'll be doing is just taking off a lot of the old compost just to expose the roots. And the reason I'm doing that is because they all have to be really close to each other for this to work. And if there's a lot of compost at the bottom, then I won't be able to do that. So I'm just going to go through now, take quite a few of these out of this old compost and get them ready for the planting in this other pot. So there we are. I think that's a big enough collection for what I'm intending to do. So the next thing I need to make sure is that all the stems are going to be very close together. So I'll be removing the lowest leaves on here so that they can be pushed up against each other without the leaves getting in the way. So I don't want to take off too many leaves, as this is what's feeding the plant, and also because these have been in such a dry compost, it's actually where a lot of their energy is, and the water. And if I take too many away, the thing that could happen is they'll actually die, so I need to be quite careful. So there we are. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to very carefully position them together so that the trunks are touching like that. And I'm going to try and make as big a bundle as I can using these, and it's going to be quite tricky to hold them together and tie them in at the same time. So I'll just get my string cut. So I'm just trying to make sure that they're all the right length, so I'll just bundle them together as close as possible. Careful not to snap any of the stems because they are a little fragile, but I will have to tie them in tight. So as you can see there, I've just snapped the top off that one. Hopefully that will survive, but I'll put that towards the edge in case it doesn't. So I'm going to get the string, I'm going to wrap it a couple of times round, making sure it's nice and tight, and I'll just continue up so that all the stem is covered, because you want the stem to be quite tightly together all the way up. So I'll just keep wrapping that round, and then I will tie it off when I think I've come to the end of the string. So around about there, and that will keep it nice and tight so it doesn't slip. Now, as I said before, the idea is as this grows it will thicken up and the pressure will force these to fuse together. So I'll potting this up in just multi-purpose compost. I find that as long as you're careful with the watering, money plants actually prefer to be in multi-purpose compost. They seem to like quite a rich soil. So this is the peat-based one, and I'm just going to nestle them in kind of in the middle of the pot, just making so the roots are kind of spread out. And what I'll have to keep an eye on here is when I'm putting the when I start watering them again, what will probably happen is they will swell up quite a bit because these have been left very dry, and I may have to loosen the string a little bit. But the idea is to keep the string very tight so that they fuse together, but not so tight that it restricts growth. So there we are, that's them all together, quite a lot of them. So I'll give this some water, put it on a sunny windowsill, feed it as well to encourage some strong growth, and I'll keep you guys updated as to how it does. Hopefully they'll grow straight without too much branching, and what that means is I can keep adding more and more string higher and higher up so that the whole trunk keeps it nice and tight. And then when it gets the desired height, I'll then let it branch out, and it will just branch out into several different branches, and it will look like an actual little branching tree. So there we are, that's it for this experiment. I've tried it before with ficus and unfortunately it didn't work, but I'm quite sure with the Crassula here, these are money plants or jade plants, these do really well when from cuttings, and they can go through a lot and they can still survive. So hopefully these will be tough enough and they'll survive the process.